Hello and welcome to another episode from the Real Talk and Revenue podcast. We have myself, Francesca, the accountant, and we have Jordan, the therapist, and we bring real powerful conversations around building revenue, building confidence, how the mindset works, all different discussions around to help others in business and in their personal life. So listen in, tune in, let us know what you think, ask questions along the way and we'll be sure to answer them. Enjoy.
We do this every time. Can't believe it's Thursday again.
I know.
So I feel like as we are getting older, the time's going quicker.
What, as in older since we started this podcast?
No, just in general, in life.
No, it does. It flies by. It's actually terrifying.
Who did I speak to? I can't remember. But you know when you're young, you're wishing the time away to get to Christmas, to get to this, to get to that.
Yeah.
My honeymoon is in 2.5 weeks. So 2 weeks on Monday. So exciting.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I've gone really busy and I'm panicking and thinking, but I want to take in this period because I know it's going to come and go.
What, the honeymoon?
Yeah, I want to take in the build-up as well as the honeymoon in itself.
Yeah.
And enjoy that excitement of waiting for something.
Yeah, the anticipation.
The anticipation, but in a good way. I've not overthought it, and I don't like that thing where you're like, and I actually said it to June yesterday, and I kicked myself after for saying, I just need my holiday. The problem with saying that, there's the anticlimax.
Yeah.
It does happen.
Mm.
And I've heard it from people that go on about living for their holidays and living for their weekends.
I know. It's so common, like, just get to this next event or that next date or milestone. And again, like we speak about the gratitude journals and stuff like that, it's about finding joy in every day. But it is so true.
Yeah, joy in every day, even on the hard days.
Yeah, even when there are challenges. Because even when there's challenge, like, even when it's busy, you might be feeling overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. That's still a good thing for your business as well, isn't it? Even though it's stressful, it's hard, isn't it? Because again, we want to get that balance.
Yeah, and not everyone can do it. Not everyone, Jordan, can do what you do.
No,
okay, and settle themselves.
No,
and I have to remind myself of this a lot. It's that I don't like the word resilience. I think we spoke about it.
Yeah,
and I talked about it on a video recently. There is an element of resilience that you need.
There is. It's the way in which your brain works and where you thrive. I was reading something yesterday. It was an article on like Psychology Today about like being an empath or a highly sensitive person.
Would you say I'm highly sensitive?
Yeah, in ways.
Yeah, I do. I agree.
Yeah, which I also am, like a massive empath and a highly sensitive person. And I was like reading it. I should have brought like a bit of the extract. I could get it up, but it was talking about how most like empaths or highly sensitive people prefer to be like self-employed and manage their own diary.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's just more about like being more in control of your diary, being able to curate your environment, take time when you need it, and not have like as much external pressure or be like dictated to.
I can't stand.
Yeah, and there were bits that like really rang true for me, and then I was thinking about you and thought some of it didn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was on about like being able to kind of like work from home and then you do bits of that. But
have your own choices.
Yeah, and it made a comment about, we spoke about this before, about being away from like the energy vampires in the office.
Yeah.
Because obviously as an empath, like you just absorb everybody's emotions and we're so like in tune with how everyone else is feeling, and that can be like really draining, can't
exactly
it?
That.
Yeah.
Honestly, that is so interesting.
I know. Where
I look at other businesses and how they are doing things and how we are, or how I am as growing Future Cloud and the values I bring.
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes, and then you still, other companies don't lose people. So they're unhappy, but they stay there. That's what I'm getting at. And I'd rather someone leave if they're unhappy than stay.
Yeah.
Even though it's uncomfortable.
No,
why do you think people step like...
You get that in every company. Yours is a smaller team with a different set of values and kind of like, mission.
Mm.
So you're more likely to attract people who aren't going to be those sorts of people that stay in jobs that aren't right for them. Do you see what I mean?
That's interesting. It is actually, isn't it?
Yeah. But also you say that, why don't people leave other jobs? They do. Like people do leave big companies, but the impact maybe isn't as much because it's more easily absorbed, and then you just get that core group that have been there forever.
Yeah.
You get that in every like big workplace, don't you?
Yeah, and all the big corporate accountants, like I want them to drop off and come to me, and I still feel like I've got another 5 years. And then when that 5 years is built, that's when it'll start.
Yeah.
You know where people say, so I love Joe Wicks, as you know, he's got a backstory of 10 years span of like building nothing.
I know.
And then all of a sudden it's that one video.
Every day,
turn up every day.
People at his class, like, and he still kept going. Not many people would do that.
The passion is there, and that's what. And it's interesting because starting Future Cloud in 2019 was the start. It was years of progression in other ways of earning no money and being like on benefits and all the stuff that I did. But even now, my other next 10 years is happening now for me to go, that's why I cried about that and that employee and that movement with a client and that building of that.
Like you do, it's a longer term investment, isn't it? Time and money wise, to see the results. Like some of it's immediate, obviously, but a lot of it is just like you'll reap the reward when, which again is why like many people, they can't be asked with that. Like,
Can't be asked.
Live in a world of like instant gratification, don't we? And I think we've spoken about this before. So yeah, it's not for everyone.
No. Well, anyway, I want to ask you, last week we said about a wedding, George's like not first wedding. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
George, and we want to know, how was it?
Yeah, it was really good. It was weird.
Oh, okay.
In a good way. Like it was so funny. So it was at like an Alice in Wonderland themed hotel.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
quirky then, to say the least.
It was quirky.
Oh, they like, come on, tell us the juice.
It was just funny. It was so funny. It took us ages to get there. With the train, we had to drop Hallie off on the way as well.
That was it, your family?
Yeah, it was actually, that bit was the most stressful. Like, it's just because you tow in a trailer that you're not used to, it's slower. Then, like, you know, half an hour out, you've got Hallie screaming in the back of the car. So I'm having to then, like, get into the back to, like, feed her and settle her.
Do you baby talk? Are you okay? Yeah. I remember that so well. My daughter Isabella, so Bella, she loves the word Bella. I used to go, Bella Bobo.
We call her all sorts. We're like, what do we call her now? How Bean, How an Arrow.
Anything but Hallie.
Beans. Yeah.
Oh, I love
best.
it.
Yeah, she's crawling now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's just insane.
You, jumping the subject quickly, when they start walking, you will wish they weren't walking for
a bit.
Even
with crawling, I said, because George was trying to encourage her, and I was like, don't encourage her, because as soon as she starts moving, that's it then. Eyes in the back of your head. So she's like in the dog bed, she's like trying to chew the chair leg, do you know what I mean? It's just all going on. But yeah, so that's the most stressful bit, because it's just like, like obviously packing everything up as well, and George is still getting into a flow of it, of like getting checklists on the go, what do I need, what don't I, you know, stuff like that. So, but anyway, like we got there and we went into the hotel, and it was so funny, they were like starting to set up their Christmas decorations as well. So it was like an explosion of like Alice in Wonderland meets like Santa's Grotto.
Oh, right, okay.
It was wild. And basically the whole wedding party was fancy dress.
Okay.
The best man was a T-Rex.
What, the actual?
Yeah. And we were just like, wow.
Are they young?
Yeah, I think so. Like no later than maybe like mid-30s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Each their own.
I know. It was funny. Like it was really funny. There were like Star Wars characters, and then at one point, I don't even know what it's called. There was like this like motorbike thing that turned up that was like done up as like a Star Wars.
Oh my god.
Like hover bike thing. I don't even know, but it was so funny.
Yeah.
George posted a picture of it, to be fair.
Okay.
Not like with two Star Wars people.
How nervous was you both, do you reckon?
Not nervous. We weren't nervous about it. George was nervous about getting set up, and obviously like there's always things, especially when you're landing at a venue you've never been at before, you don't know the electrical situation, that is always a concern. Because unless they've got like a 32 amp plug that you can plug the trailer straight into, you've got to use the generator or like plug into, luckily they had an outdoor socket and that was adequate, but sometimes it overloads the circuit.
Yep.
And then you've got to put the generator on, which is fine, which is why we had it in the car, which then takes up a lot of space. But because we didn't know the venue, we have to take it just in case, like, because else everything goes down and you're stuck.
I love how chilled you were about it though.
Yeah.
I'd have been...
George gets stressed about that, just like the uncertainty, you know, and then setting up, and then like the venue didn't know we were actually coming. It was fine, I know. And then it was like, where are we parking up? Okay. And then like the wedding party came out. We're getting pictures.
So you're
in
the
an area.
evening meal? Is it like takeaway sort of evening
we
meal?
were like,
not
yeah.
canapes and all that as well?
No, we were the evening meal, but it was afternoon. Like.
Yeah, so you're not the evening where people come at 7:30 type?
No, I don't think they had that.
No, they didn't have that.
No.
They just had you guys around afternoon.
Yeah, and a bit of a buffet inside as well. Like.
Oh, they did have a buffet inside, okay.
Just mainly for the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had a mix of things. Yeah, so we were a bit delayed setting up because of like where people were positioned when we got there and stuff like that. But yeah, again, like once we got set up, it was fine. It was like clockwork, a couple of hours, and then we were packing down again. So
it worked. Nothing went wrong.
No, it was fine.
Oh,
like,
and also in my head, that loads of
it's always
things
like
went wrong.
minor drama. Don't get me wrong. Like,
Yeah.
Was it that event or another one when he opened the door? Oh no, it was the Saturday. So that was the Thursday. He had an event on the Friday, and then we had an event at Sherwood Holiday Park on the Saturday. That was really good.
Was it?
It was so busy. We sold out in 2 hours. I worked that with him again.
Oh wow! Look at you.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
I know.
You know when we used to talk back in the day.
I know. Yeah.
And now you're doing like this.
I know.
Hospitality,
I
catering.
know. So that was really fun, and it was a lovely event. Like there were loads of kids dressed up and competitions, and the feedback was lovely. And as I say, yeah, we sold out in 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does he have a card machine for payment?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I was doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was taking all the payments, which is really frustrating because it doesn't integrate with Xero.
No, it doesn't. I'm thinking of PayPal. Yeah, some doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it.
But you have to have some point of sale or something
yeah,
like that.
there is
We don't have
one.
that.
You've probably got the basic one that can connect to your mobile.
Yeah, we do, and the reader sort of thing, but we don't need that some point of sale thing. Do you know what I mean?
So the only way you can do it is probably log into SumUp to see and download it and export it in.
Yeah, I can do that, no
it's
problem.
really fiddly for you.
It's just
another
thing,
pain.
isn't it?
Yeah, no, I hear your pain.
Another thing.
You just remind me I need to do my VAT return.
Oh God, honestly.
So talk to me about that.
So yeah, it went really well, and
Good.
as I say, North Muscombe Halloween party tonight.
Yeah.
Basically, like completely fully booked with pre-orders, like before we even arrive at the venue.
So this is definitely a guaranteed money maker then.
Yeah.
I always talk about profit. I always think, check it and check it again.
Yeah.
I've worked with so many businesses that are in catering as well.
Yeah.
They don't even make any money. You almost think you can't do it then.
Yeah.
What are you doing it for?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously catering is a little bit different. It's a bit more premium than a restaurant that's struggling, I think, because it's always one person doing it and then it's got your helping
exactly.
hands.
It's just different.
It's
I'm
when
not
you
helping
hire.
tonight. He's got someone that he's
doing it with.
Yeah. That worked with him before, and which is
My
better.
Ellen would be up for that, you know. She did a catering thing.
Yeah.
Last weekend for her employer who's got a side hustle, I don't know what you word it, and she did that for the day.
Yeah, I think he needs someone next Friday. He's looking into it.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, I'll drop you a
And I'll
message.
speak to Bella. But then again, you know what kids are like with
I
weekends.
know. He's had a few people though off there.
No, he'll be fine then.
Yeah, but you know, there's occasions where like no one can do it. And I'm like reluctant to do too much because the weekends are my time with Hallie. Yeah,
it's your time with Hallie, but you're busy. I know you are with therapy sessions.
I enjoy some of it, but again, like, you know, I'd rather be with Hallie, like go and see him, like get some food.
Yeah, you're doing that tonight.
And like pop off when, you know,
no, that's really good news. So
High Rocks.
High Rocks. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, yes, I had my root canal done.
Oh my God, you said about that last week. What the hell? hell?
I don't know if I said it on camera last week, but I had a root canal Friday morning, 9 a.m. at West Bridgeford, right? Paid privately, so it's not cheap.
No.
So when I got in there, so I chipped my tooth last year on a popcorn kernel or a something, I can't remember.
Yeah.
And I got it fixed. But I'd already had root canal on it when I was 21 because of having kids.
Right.
Your teeth are more sensitive, aren't they, to decay?
Yeah.
But when, so I had really bad toothache. So it has lasted a long time to say that we're now nearly 20 years later and I'm having it looked at again. Anyway, she said it was 50-50 whether I need extracting, which I do not want to lose my tooth.
Yeah.
I'm very precious about my teeth. So all the way through for the first half an hour, she was like, because you've cracked it, I don't know if it's down to your root and that's what's caused the problem.
Yeah.
But it hadn't. And she cleared it out. Took 2.5 hours, Jordan.
Oh my God.
My anxiety, she thought I was absolute warrior because I went in and went, I am nervous about this. She says, we'll have breaks and this. Obviously I didn't have breaks. I wanted to crack on and get going.
No.
The drilling, I just don't understand. I know other people have had it out. That's how I felt. It didn't hurt. The needles hurt a bit.
Yeah.
It's not even the hurt. It's the pulling about and how they're masking your mouth to get in there to keep everything dry and constant mouth.
It's a lot.
It was a lot. I thought.
Just reminded me of the bloody C-section.
Oh, because people make
like
it
say,
sound.
It's numb, so yes, it's not painful.
It's not the procedure in
itself.
itself.
It's just still like uncomfortable.
Pulling about.
Yeah, shoving around.
But you know that it's taking a bit longer than you expected. Ooh, actually, in my head, this sounded like it was a lot better.
Yeah.
Because you're numb.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And all the way through it, I was thinking, I didn't want to tell her to stop in a minute. I don't know.
I know. It's in your mouth as well, isn't it? And
God. And then I was like, right, I'm not doing high rocks. That's my decision made. I'll have to tell Steve, this is going wrong. Well, I don't like this. I felt
that's never going to happen.
So anyone that doesn't know what high rocks is, anyone listening, just check out high rocks workouts on Instagram and YouTube, just to get a feel for what I'm going on about. It's a massive fitness craze, racing craze. Hybrid racing where you've got to be strong, you've got to be good at running. I only started my running journey in 2022, so it's only been 2 years, 2.5 years, we'll say.
Yeah.
Anyway, got to Steve, and I said that was really traumatic. I was shocked at how traumatic it felt.
Yeah.
Anyway, time went on. I rushed to the hotel in Birmingham, got on a meeting with the AAT, which was a great meeting, but it's stressful.
Yeah.
And I thought it felt a bit achy, but it was all right. What we decided to do was do the race, but go steady.
Yeah.
So when I say steady, for us, it's steady.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
But for everyone else, it's like, we're nutters.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it is, I slept okay. I had no pressure.
Yeah.
I was fine.
Yeah.
I was nervous when we got to the start line. I was a bit like, ooh.
Yeah.
But we did it. And most of it was like borderline, comfortable, uncomfortable, not killing ourselves like we usually do.
Yeah.
It hurt towards the end, it always does because it's war balls. And we managed to get, so last Birmingham, we did it an hour and 16:30 something.
Yeah.
That was like painfully hard all the way around,
Yeah.
like feeling sick. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to stop. This time around it was comfortable-ish, but hard. An hour and 15. Okay? That shows, right? It's not our PB of overall. Our PB was in Manchester, not Birmingham, which was 5 minutes quicker.
Yeah.
And that was a killer move. But
do you remember early on when we spoke about just generally in life, like when you're a high achiever and like you're working at like 100% at all times, knowing that the facts state that if you drop to like 80% output, the outcome would still be the same. That's
proof
of that, isn't it?
We lowered our training. We trained 5 days a week instead of 6 and maybe 7 sometimes, including a big like walk or whatever we did.
It's wild.
Yeah. So this is proof that if anyone's training and fitness and whatever else and you're feeling overwhelmed with it and worrying about where you're going, this is why with Steve as well, he's progressed in his workout plans for us.
Yeah.
Not one size fits all.
Yeah.
So he's learning and how we should train and develop for high rocks, which is different to gym training.
Yeah.
So he's adjusted things. And I just think this is brilliant. And I was buzzing. I felt like amazing Sunday. Like, this is I'm so glad we did the hard thing.
Yeah.
So we can do hard things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it gave me a different like feeling about work all of a sudden. And I was like motivated and felt really like, because I thought I was going to be like, no, it was a rubbish time because we didn't get a PB from overall. But I looked at the positives compared to Birmingham last year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, and you can see your progress as well, can't you? Like, it was a hard slog when you got that before, and this time you've taken it easy and got the same.
Oh my God, and it felt so much better. And we had, even Steve halfway round made me laugh. It's like, this feels a bit easy. I was like, shut up. Don't say that, because it wasn't easy.
Yeah. Like,
it was completely going over the top.
Yeah.
But I get what you were saying.
Yeah, in
like,
comparison.
Yeah,
You
it felt
usually
like a training session.
Yeah.
So that is a massive win. So our training now, I do feel sluggish this week. I've noticed that's an event for you.
Yeah.
So anything like I've noticed in life that you've got on, so just say George's wedding event, that can knock him out for a while if he's anything like me, where the way I think about stuff. It's the build up, it's the aftercare and make sure they were happy. And same with going to an event. But what Steve did, right, which is amazing, he said to me, right, something's happened in our lives personally that's given us a bit of, I don't know, something. And
it's always perspective, isn't it? In
definitely.
this kind of situation.
Yes. And he was like, right, because we was on about doing podcasts in the future ourselves. He was like, right, I'm going to interview people. I was like, what? But famous high rocksters. Okay. I was like, right, okay, what do you mean? Well, there's that Jake Williamson I'm going to ask. And then he was like, going around and he says, you need to get 5 no's. So we need to progress to getting 5 no's, and that means we're really trying hard, sort of thing. So he was asking people that I never thought, like Zoe Ray, so Molly, Zoe Haig, Molly May, sister, her husband.
What are they, high rocksters?
They're high rocksters. She's an affiliate with them. She works for My Protein, blah blah blah. A couple of other famous high rocksters and people that we would probably look up to. There was a guy that he spoke to that works for Manchester United for social media. Little did we know, we interviewed him and he built social chain with Stephen Bartlett.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes. So I feel, I was like, Steve, something's going to happen for us here. We are in the right. But Steve would never have done that with when I met him. I'm shocked. He was asking, he said, I've already wrote the questions down what I want to ask.
Oh, that's amazing.
Honestly, I'm buzzing. So anything, you've got to go out your comfort zone and feel that, because they are those people where you look up to. Are just normal, and people were coming up towards the photos.
That's it.
I watch your YouTube, they were saying. So the YouTube's High Rocks Workouts, if you want to have a nosy. It was incredible. I was so proud of him.
That's amazing.
Honestly, no. And that beauty, when I said Steve, I said, oh my God, Steve, I think that guy you interviewed, I actually think he did something with Stephen Bartlett. He's like, sometimes it's a good thing not to know these things.
It is, like I've had a client where I didn't have a clue.
And not famous, but I love this.
What she did and stuff. And it's nice then, because again, like you say, you just go in naively, no bias, no expectation, no pressure that might kind of like sway how you feel. You know, you just go in as another human.
As a human, So we met, she's called Zara, and she's in the Elite 15. Stunning woman, honestly, right? And this is so funny. And I said stunning woman, but someone actually compared that I look like her. I don't see it, but I thought, this is brilliant. Anyway, I didn't know she'd be there because the Elite 15 weren't racing. Steve says, I think that Zara's here. I was like, oh my God, okay. So he's like, let's interview her. I know. I was like, we need to meet her. Anyway, she's so lovely. We met her husband that's a footballer. Had a photo with her, sent it to my friend whose husband said we look similar, so say, look at this sort of thing. So Steve interviewed her, told her about the podcast. And we talked about, like, because she's in Elite 15 and she has to work on her mindset to progress to that. And I was like, this is brilliant. She's like, send me your podcast link. I haven't, because I feel like, why would you want to listen to that?
Bloody send it.
Stupid, isn't it? It's silly. Like, I'm like, oh.
You can't say that, because your whole business and personal brand is based on not succumbing to that.
I know, but I'm like, oh, why would you want to listen to him?
Send her it. If she doesn't want to, she won't listen to it.
And that's that part of no. So Steve got a no, and it was from Zoe. And I got a photo with her, by the way. And so many people love her because she does lots of YouTube and this, that, the other. She said no, not because she basically, we watched a race and she was feeling poorly all the way around, because I could hear her saying she felt dizzy. Anyway, she said to Steve, messaged back and said, look, I've gone home back to the hotel because I'm feeling not very good. I've cancelled my interviews with my protein or whatever. So it wasn't a no forever.
Yeah.
And that's what you've got to remember as well. Like in sales.
Yeah, but you've got to have no's.
You've got to have no's.
You will always have no's.
I know.
I have loads of no's,
Well, I
loads
have
of failures, you know.
Getting sponsorship, I've not had any no's because a lot of people don't reply. You know what I mean? They just ignore you and ghost you forever, don't they?
No's, people just don't reply.
Yeah, they're like, oh, okay, that's a no then.
Yeah.
But that's when you should chase.
Yeah.
Because some people haven't got time.
That's true, yeah.
It is honestly, I've got a whole sales strategy that I could give anybody to do.
Yeah.
It's me making the time to do the do. Because I know what to do.
I struggle with that in my line of work though.
Go on then.
Well, because I just don't think, it doesn't feel right to hard sell therapy.
I get
that. Do you know
that.
what I mean? It feels a bit...
I know what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean? It's just
weird.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Therapy.
It is a weird one. Yes, you're right, because it's like you're a therapist, not a coach. So a coach can probably get away with, feels like they can get away with a bit more because it's a sale.
I know.
But it is a sale though, isn't it?
Yeah, but also like most of the people that I see are like high functioning people.
When you say high functioning, what's that mean in a roundabout way then?
I suppose just high achievers, I guess, is what I meant. Do you know what I mean? Like high achieving people that might be struggling with like clinical problems.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't necessarily know from the outside.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's just getting on.
Can I ask give me an example of a clinical problem then?
Depression, clinical depression, anxiety, PTSD, like all of it, any of it. And this is the thing, like people always say like, you know, mental health doesn't discriminate. Well, it doesn't. Like it can be any of us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
it can creep up on you.
Yeah, most of us have probably struggled at some point with a clinical mental health problem, whether it be in response to a difficult life event, you know, like trauma, bereavement, like just work-related stress and burnout. Burnout often causes symptoms of anxiety and depression that score within clinical realms. So, like, yeah, most of the people I see are high functioning and could mask it quite easily.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say in terms of from a sales perspective, like there's still a vulnerability in people when they're not feeling well. Do you know what I mean?
You don't want to feel like you...
No, you don't ever...
You need me and...
Yeah, and like, that's why I don't like... I would never like message people, not for therapy, maybe for like courses and stuff that's got a different target audience.
I know what you could do instead of them.
But I just like to put myself out there so people can be like, oh, I need a therapist. I quite like how she operates. She seems like my kind of person.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to her and ask. Like, that's how I like to do it. Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
It's just a weird one, isn't it?
So what I would suggest to people that feel like that in their individual, you don't have to do a... so you'd send them the quote and this, that, the other. But then you'd probably, because you can have their email for marketing purposes as well. Because and also because you've already done a bit of an interaction and transaction sort of thing. Yeah. And they can also unsubscribe if they don't.
Well, that's on my,
to-do list.
Never-ending to-do list. That's also not progressive. It's a newsletter.
Yeah, because we started doing newsletters.
Yeah, they're really, really valuable. Like email lists.
They are. Yeah, they are. I'm just wondering where the emails are going in the future. Is it a thing in the future? I don't know necessarily, and I've said this for a while, and I don't know why, but something's telling me an app's going to progress that much that it won't be an email chat back and forth. It'll be Slack or WhatsApp business or something. And then it'll be social media newsletters going around. It's still a newsletter format. I'm just wondering where the place is for email, but we still use it. I'm very open-minded to all the changes. Steve has been, so anyone that's not even looked at AI, you're missing a trick.
I know, it is mind-blowing. And
mind-blowing.
It can be a really good tool for business.
Yeah. Really good tool.
Yeah, and for lots of things as well, like finding out specific information, it is amazing, isn't it? I think I've said before, I love like manifestation, law of attraction, stuff like that, and people have been talking about like how it can help with like visualization and stuff like that. You can get it to kind of based on your goals over the next 5 years, you can get it to write you sort of like a script of what your life will look like in 5 years, and it's helping people like, you know, like just get like motivation and feel.
Oh, that's quite cool.
Yeah, like visualization.
So exciting.
It is cool. It is cool.
Yeah, it's really like.
What about the pictures I sent you?
Oh my God! Wow, damn girl.
Yeah, because it's not me,
sexy,
Fran.
Sexy.
That's the point.
It's definitely you.
No, it's not.
See you.
Right, come on, let's show the camera.
Let me just give a brief. She sent me pictures of Jordan, and I knew it wasn't you, as in your photo.
That's what I mean.
It was
AI. It doesn't bloody look like me.
And she had purple hair on one of them and bloody glasses on the other.
I did a filter of.
It looked. Oh God,
that was my favourite one.
I think it does actually look so much like you, but
because it's got my pictures in it.
Direct yourself to our YouTube.
Listen,
see it on there.
It's hysterical. Look.
Well, that one doesn't. It looks like, I don't know, that could be.
Well, it's over polished, like professionalism, really. Pink hair and glasses, everyone. It absolutely cracked me up because, yes, it's a bit of my face. It is my face, but.
You see pink hair.
Well, I was thinking about that. I thought, oh, there's a hair one. I saw this app. I got like drawn into it on Instagram or whatever it was, and I thought I'm gonna
go. Bloody time.
It was.
You could have done your newsletter.
I know.
I do stuff like this.
Do weird shit like that.
Right. Does anyone else do this? Me and my sister do it. I go through now. This is from Claudia. I didn't realise you can look on Reels, and it'll get what funny stuff you look at.
Yeah.
So we send each other now, and this makes my day. You know when you need a bit of a laugh at the end of the day. We send each other funny, like even work ones.
Yeah.
Ones about how our personalities are, little reels.
Yeah.
And we're howling. And then I think, what a waste of my time. I've just spent 20 minutes.
Stuff like
but you
that,
need it. No, I know.
You can't always be powering through. Do you know what I mean?
No, I want to.
We all want to in some way.
I'm just going to say out loud, and I don't think I messaged Steve this morning, and I just thought, I'm grateful for you. Yeah. So I messaged him, I'm grateful for you with all of our.
Finally, it's coming in. Well, it is, isn't it? Not about Steve.
The grateful bit. I know what you're saying. I'm really joking.
Finally, Steve, you get to appreciate.
Yeah, no, I do say that, Steve, but you know what?
Yeah.
I felt it.
That's what I mean.
I didn't just say to him, I'm so lucky I've met you, because I've said all those things in the past. I feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something's like
shifting.
Yeah, something's shifting. Yeah. And that is come from me trying the journal out.
Yeah.
Really thinking hard about achievements and who's around me and who's important.
Yeah.
And who's not so important.
Yeah.
And actually, it's okay to have people that are not important to you. Yeah. And that's the really uncomfortable bit for me though. It's that people pleasing element. But people pleasing is not going to grow my business.
It's not, no. And also, like, it's not always going to make you happy, people pleasing. Like, for what? What's the point of it? What's the point? Is it again because of fear of judgment, fear of criticism, fear of like disapproval? Then stop it. Like if it's coming from a place of fear, what's the point? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Like rather than like, I want to do this thing for that person because I value them or because they make effort with me and it feels like, you know, the right thing to do and it feels good. Not like, oh, I really don't want to do that, but if I don't, like, it's just going to be more hassle than what it's worth. Like,
yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
But we mentioned briefly before we came on here, because we always say, oh, I didn't sleep very well last night. And you said it. So basically, I didn't sleep well because I've got some exciting changes that are happening that still make me nervous, but I have to reframe it as exciting because they feel the same. And I do this. So I've got a very, very good sleep pattern. So I've nurtured my routine. I can help anyone get a better sleep routine. Obviously with kids and stuff, I know it's harder. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it takes months and months. It can actually take a lot longer than people allow themselves.
Especially if you don't have good sleep hygiene already.
Yes.
I've always been a really good sleeper generally.
Yes.
Like, apart from now.
No, exactly that. But I'm that sort of person. Things go on in my life, happy or sad, my adrenaline kicks in and I struggle to sleep.
Yeah.
So that's my little...
Yeah.
And I'm learning that it's okay to have one bad night, because I used to beat myself up and think, oh my God, I need to get straight back on my routine, what's going on?
Or you're looking at the clock going, if I get to sleep now, I've got 4 hours. If I get to sleep now, I've got 3. Oh my God, I'm just going to be the worst ever tomorrow.
Yeah, and telling yourself those things, which isn't helpful for anybody.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Nowadays, I say to myself, like, I'm not gonna like, I don't know how to put this. I know that part of like sleep issues and tiredness, it's what we tell ourselves, isn't it?
Yep.
Unless it's a sustained like insomnia or something like that. But if you've got that narrative like, oh my God, tomorrow's real, I'm gonna be so tired because we only had 2 hours. Actually just get up and be like, how am I feeling this morning?
Yes,
like,
exactly. Great.
So I just get up and I think it doesn't matter how many hours sleep I've had. Let's just see how I feel. And like last night, didn't get very many hours of sleep.
What? Because waking up?
Yeah,
baby.
Just up and down. Like we can't put her in our bed anymore because we were like having her in our bed and she'd sleep a bit better. But she just is like,
fidget.
Oh my God, like she's all over the place. She's smacking you in the face. Yeah. She's like rolling around. So she can't do. I have to like get up and go into the nursery to feed her and then come back into bed and then I'm awake.
Yeah.
So do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than like being sort of like sleepy and feeding her, I'm awake then, and then I get back into bed and like you, my head's like la 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 la.
Yeah. I need to do that tomorrow. Do you want to find that person?
But actually today, genuinely right now, I don't drink coffee or anything like that. I feel fine. Like I feel fine. Yeah. Whether I will later in the day, I don't know.
Oh, I won't later. I know. I will be like white. I feel a bit wired, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've got a Whoop. A Whoop is tracking your sleep and performance.
Yeah,
and
I've heard
recovery.
it on Stephen Bartlett's podcast.
Yeah, and I've got a Garmin. This is ridiculous. When I go on my honeymoon, I'm going to remove both. Well, I'm going to keep my watch on, should I say, but I'm not going to be precious about it.
Good.
And my Whoop's coming off.
Yeah.
And with a Whoop, you have to pay yearly.
Yeah.
I even got as far as applying to be their ambassador type thing and getting money for it. I didn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
And that's because I only had it a month and I was still learning. I do think it's a great tool for especially people in performance and sleep habits. But you can imagine me, obsessive.
That's the problem with these things. Like, I have so many clients that come to me as well and they're like, well, my watch has been saying that my heart rate's this and this and that. And I'm like, right, sometimes having data is good and sometimes it's not that helpful because it's feeding your anxiety. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but you say, I get that, but it's the same with like, I did a post about cash flow forecasting, actually looking at your figures and time and avoiding it.
Yeah.
I said it's uncomfortable for me to do that, let alone our clients, so I get it.
Yeah.
And it's looking at data.
It's how you use it though.
It is how you use it.
And what the interpretation and appraisal of it is. For example, someone with health anxiety, clinical health anxiety.
The clinical bit, yeah.
You know, being able to track their heart rate or even having like a blood pressure machine to hand and stuff like that. It's constantly checking just in case. Like, am I okay? Am I going to have a heart attack or something like that?
That's very true because I don't weigh myself. I've not weighed on the scale since 2018.
Exactly, because it's of no value to you.
It's no value, it means nothing, and I think it's such a shame that, and I don't know if anyone's listening in, but I know people that have to do it every day, maybe even morning and night.
Oh no.
Just because it's habit.
Yeah.
Well, it's only been £1. I've only put £1, that's all right then.
Oh God.
And I reckon I could have been that person.
100%.
Because it's that data.
Yeah.
I am that sort of person. If I get a new gadget, new software, new this, new that, I have to go all in.
Yeah, I have been the same in the past.
Yeah. And
I've moved away from that because I get so exhausted from because I get obsessive about things.
Yeah, I do.
And it's hard work, isn't it? Because you can't be obsessed with everything on your plate.
No, I know.
And then it gets stressful because you're like, I've got enough time to do everything that I really want to do and that I'm interested in and this and that.
Yeah, because my Whoop tells you your HRV rate, heart rate variability.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And because I'm super fit, mine should be quite high according to this, that, the other. It's actually quite low. And when you really do the research, obviously I researched it to the absolute death. I realise it's saying it can be to do with anxiety and stress in your life.
Yeah.
So mine's really low. And I'm like, oh no, what's going on here? How do I build it back up?
Yeah.
I don't know, and maybe it's got into my head a bit. So I'm in the red today. I'm on massive low recovery. Apparently, I had an hour sleep last night. It's never done that. Didn't even track myself when I fell back to sleep. It's not true to identity of what you actually are doing.
Of course.
Yeah, there are still some things. I think the Whoop is a fantastic tool. I really, really do. And I'm questioning whether from a holiday, I've not taken this off since apart from my wedding day. It's come with me. It's in the shower with me. It's doing everything with me.
Yeah. Just charge it.
You have to charge it a lot, yeah. Every like 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
Just slot it on and don't take it off. But yeah, I think the holiday is gonna do me a world of good just thinking about what am I doing, basically. The Garmin, I love it, step tracker, even though this Whoop now does that.
Yeah.
But I love it because of my distance running. So it tells me my pacing. So that's all healthy and normal. Loads of people do that.
Yeah.
But data's very interesting. It's only going to get more about, in the future, because Steve was saying they do fitness tests for people and put wires on them. And I said, soon they're going to be able to expand our lungs to be a faster runner or, with all this coming in, and it's frightening.
I know. It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. But,
I know, we'll see.
Yeah.
Watch this space. If anyone uses your Whoop, just let us know. Comment below.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think.
I remember looking at it after hearing it on the podcast for a while. I don't know if I remember correctly, but I didn't think it's very affordable.
It's about 20 quid a month or 200 odd quid a year.
Oh, is it? Oh, maybe it was.
But 20 quid a month for a watch?
Yeah.
Every year?
Yeah.
But they've got the right influencers using it.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, I want to do that.
Yeah, and again, like you say, if you're invested in that, if, like you're kind of like competing in things and stuff like that, then...
It's great.
Yeah,
and
brilliant.
I love seeing fellow fitness people wearing one because I'm like, that's great. That's another popularity thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in that crowd. It's interesting because I'm thinking, what am I doing all this for?
Yeah.
But I do recommend it to people that really, and it does help you think, oh, my sleep's not great as I thought. Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
The best sleep I've had is literally when I've really thought, and with Steve, where I can just say, I'm going to bed early.
Yeah.
I need that because I need to get up early and that's how I work.
Yeah.
And he's been okay with that.
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship that it's not, people struggle to sleep. And that sounds really bad.
Yeah.
And it's that conflict, isn't it? So if they're like, oh, God, I have to go to bed early because you want to go to bed early.
Yeah.
It would be on my mind and it wouldn't work.
Yeah, definitely. And also, like, my thing is as well, like, why does it matter? Like, you don't have to go to bed together every night.
No, exactly that. But Steve has to come to bed.
Really?
He doesn't come to bed with me because I go in super early.
Yeah.
But I need him there so when I can go to sleep. I'm such a light sleeper.
Yeah.
Because of having kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, he doesn't walk up with me well done. Because last night he was watching. Last night he was watching the football and he came up at 5 to 10.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? It's late. And he was like, I'm going to go and sleep in another room because the football's on for another half an hour. I was like, no, sleep in another room. And then I just stayed awake, but I was too busy looking at funny reels and stuff.
Yeah.
But normally I probably would have gone, go in the other room then and I could just get straight to sleep. But I already knew I was a bit wired.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny?
It
How
is.
do you and George do it then? Because is he a late person?
He was before, obviously, because of his shift. So, like, he'd finish late and then he'd want some time to, like, wind down. And
Is he missing it?
stuff
What's
like
it been like then? 'Cause
no, not at all.
So it's only been a week.
Has it?
2 weeks.
A week, yeah.
It's only been a week. So 31st today. October.
When did he finish? The 20th?
I'm sure the 20th. Yeah.
The 20th.
Yeah, nearly 2 weeks.
Yeah, so when we first met, he was more of a night owl. And then as time went on, he got into more of a routine where he's like going to bed earlier. Not super early, but like he'd come in, get sorted, and then get in bed rather than needing to like stay up and like watch telly to wind down or stuff. But it just depends really. So like most of the time we go to bed at the same time. At the minute we're in quite a bad habit of like scrolling in bed and staying up late. So we're probably not getting to sleep until like 11:30, 12. which that's really late for me. Like 10 o'clock was my previous cut off.
That's what they say, is move your phone away. I've never done it.
I know. And also, like I said before, at the minute it's a case of like, we're tired, so we want to get in bed, and then we're like, should we just sort them orders out? Like I was sorting pre-orders on a spreadsheet last night. So we were putting them in and stuff like that. So at times it is the only time we have to like focus on a task completely when one of us isn't like at work or with Hallie. So
I get that.
yeah, but
It's
we're
always a
mindful
lot.
of it. It's not helpful. And then there's sometimes as well, like last night, for example, I went to bed earlier than what George did.
Yeah.
And I don't think he came up until like 12.
Yeah. Another subject that I do get asked about a lot, and I'm going to talk about it quickly now before we get off onto our days. Difficult conversations. You must get asked this a lot within being therapists and stuff.
Yeah.
People avoid them.
Yeah.
I feel like avoiding them.
Yeah.
I never do. It takes me sometimes a little bit longer to get there, but I'll get there. I've read something. Difficult conversations. The more you can have, the more successful you'll be.
100%. Yeah.
Why?
Because you're kind of like facing the fears. You're not procrastinating on, not getting things done for fear of upsetting someone, for fear of judgment, for fear of rejection, like for fear of failure, like whatever it is, for fear of hurting someone else's feelings.
So what happens if you have that difficult conversation and it doesn't end well? That's a fear.
So it's like everything, isn't it? Like there's uncertainty. That's why we don't like it, because we can't be
in control of
certain.
it.
Like how it's going to go and how the other person's going to react. Like we can manage our reactions, but we can't manage other people's. So and we also might make assumptions about how a person's going to react. Like how many times we do that, we anticipate it's going to be awful and horrible, and then actually they take it quite well.
Yeah.
And then obviously there are occasions where people don't take things so well, and but you still have to have those conversations.
100%. It's like in relationships as well.
Yeah.
And I spoke to you a lot about this when I met Steve, and navigating someone new and his ways and my ways.
Yeah.
I'd always be open and honest, and I'd say to you and you'd say, right, talk to him, and I'd do it. And I'd never put it off. I'd always do it in the end.
Yeah.
And I realised and I used to beat myself up thinking, well, everyone else must be so open in their relationships or in their work life.
No.
Oh my God, it's the opposite.
It is.
I was always trying to improve and communicate, and Steve wasn't because he is now, wasn't the best communicator. There was something niggling him, and I felt it because I feel those vibes. I'd have to do the communicating for it, which is fine.
Yeah.
And I don't think you do that now. It always takes that one person to navigate and be the leader of it.
It does, yeah.
Not thinking, well, they're not talking to me, I'm not going to talk to them.
Yeah.
So immature.
I know we all get into that headspace at times.
I know we do, but I have to reframe quick.
You do, you have to go, right, come on.
I remember, and I'm going to share this with me and Steve, there was a time that something happened. This is going back 4 years ago, I think it was. I decided, and for me this is hard, to not speak to him.
I think I remember this.
I didn't speak, and I put a story. This is so mature.
I think I remember you telling me about this, and I was like, oh.
Hang on a minute. So he didn't speak to me because that's how he deals with things.
Yes.
So I thought, well, I'm going to do this now.
Yeah.
See how we go with this one then.
Yeah, if we're both
Yeah.
the same.
And I was determined because I always sort it out first because I'm like the fixer, if I'm honest.
Solver,
Problem solver. So it lasted, I reckon nearly 2 days of talked, but an air of, and I was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, but it's funny because you'd have been like, oh,
yeah,
God,
I was. I hurt myself over it.
And for him, it's kind of not as energy sapping because that's how he authentically deals with it.
I know, and he
didn't
really notice as much.
No, he wouldn't.
So then I did a story, where there's classic quotes, I've just spit everywhere. There's classic quotes in the story about silence is golden or something, in hope that he'd see it. How mature is that?
Passive aggressive.
I know. I'm going to be real about this.
Yeah.
And I bet others do it.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
he came up straight away.
I remember you telling me about.
He went, oh, was that about me then? And I was like, oh, so you've noticed I've not been speaking.
Finally.
And it's interesting because we sorted it out. It's almost like we laughed about it and sorted it out. And it was so uncomfortable for me to not speak for a bit. And I've learned never to do that. But yeah, is that called passive aggressive then?
Putting the status on.
Yeah.
Like directing it at somebody else. Like
Yeah.
it is. It's a passive aggressive like action, isn't
I'm
it?
like, I was crying out for something so new.
Without going up to him and saying,
yeah.
hello.
I would, and this is a true story, I'm so open with him now, but when you're navigating a relationship and we had loads going on.
Yeah, it's hard. It is hard. And
also, brilliant.
It's an example of like, sometimes we do not act rationally and with thought. We act on emotion.
Child in me.
Yeah, I mean, we all have that. We all have the ability to just throw our toys out of the pram.
Yeah.
And
I think the more honest with yourself that you are doing that, and I've said that to him, oh, finally, you've seen the story now then, have you? And are you talking to me now, sort of thing? And he was a bit like, oh, hang on a minute.
What's going on here?
Yeah, I know. And you can laugh at yourself and catch yourself. Like you laughed at yourself how you old George saying you're mardy, you go quiet.
Yeah.
And there's like no need.
There's no need. And also, like, objectively, as a therapist, like, I know better than that. But also as a human,
you're in a child
human emotions in response to like my own personal circumstances at times, and I have to catch myself, and I don't do that all the time. Like, we're not always going to be, we're not perfect, we're not going to be on it 100% of the time. No. We're all going to like fuck up at times and need to apologise and take responsibility. And that's the most important thing. It's the same with 100%. Parenting. We will fuck up, we will get it wrong, but as long as you can repair that, like if you shout at your kid and you realise that was out of order, as long as you go back to apologise and say, I'm sorry I did that, that was wrong with me, sorry that I shouted at you, which that's when it becomes problematic for a lot of people. Yeah. When there's an absence of repair, there's no one that comes to take responsibility and say, that wasn't you, that was me, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, and that takes a lot of guts.
It does.
And I think more people can do it better.
Important.
So important.
Yeah.
So on that note, we'll crack on for next week.
Yeah.
Is there anything coming up that we can just like? You got your Halloween thing tonight. You can let us know how George gets on.
Yeah.
What have I got going on? I'll be just talking about holiday and sorting holiday stuff. Oh, we're interviewing, so I can discuss that next week. So see what's happening with that. I have got some exciting plans for the new year. I've had some really good conversations. Mm-hmm. And obviously what Steve's done has been incredible. And whether we'll bring out another podcast, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But as always, thanks for listening in. Any questions, fire them at us.
Yeah, thank you.
See you next week.
Bye.